My name is Laila Sumpton, and I am a poet and also the organiser and co-founder of Poetry versus Colonialism. So Poetry versus Colonialism brings together poets, artists, museums and schools, and together we investigate colonial history through the means of poetry, making a space for us to really unpack some complicated stories about our past and work out how we feel about them and how we relate them to ourselves and the present day. So poetry enables us to time travel at rapid speed. Within a few lines you can jump centuries, and you can also combine emotions and senses in a really vivid and condensed way, allowing students, allowing adults, allowing poets of all ages to really condense a history that they're exploring. So heritage and arts organisations, like the Museum of London, where we are right now, are fantastic places to explore our colonial histories. They have lots of exhibits relating to colonial histories. Some of them are explored, they're specifically exploring colonial histories. Others of them are unexplored, and it offers us the opportunity to go in there and really unpack the layers of history that are hidden within objects. So a teapot is never really just a teapot. A teapot links instantly to the history of the colonization of Asia. It links to the Opium Wars. Then within the things that were traded within the colonial times, there are so many opportunities to explore the histories of those items and the legacies they have left us. So we're really excited that Poetry versus Colonialism is working with schools. They are a place where we can have a multi-curricular approach to learning. We bring together history and we bring together English literature and creative writing. It's a space where we can work with both teachers and students to create brand new poems so that student voices, young people's voices, can tell history through their own perspective, bringing in those multi-layers of emotion. Yes, we're really excited to be collaborating with trainee teachers who have expressed to us the need for extra support when teaching poetry. And not just the extra support for teaching poetry, but also teaching colonial history in a way that leaves space to unpack the emotions and the identity issues that come into play when you start looking at colonial history. So Poetry versus Colonialism is using poetry to explore and unpack colonial history. And poetry enables us to instantly investigate the history of empire. We may wait for some time for the history syllabus to change, but we can already explore the history of colonialization through creative writing and through texts and poetry that already explore these themes. I think Poetry versus Colonialism can empower people to look at the harrowing history of colonialism, be they students at school or museum staff or heritage staff. It can empower you to look afresh at this history with a broader context and with a multi-sensory and emotional response as well. So when you are dealing with the history of the enslavement of African people, when you're looking at the history of the colonization of India, this brings up a lot of emotions, be it guilt, shame, anger, and those emotions need to go somewhere. History isn't just about looking at facts or a timeline. That is important, but you also need to unpack what that history means for you as an individual, as a community, and also as a country. And poetry provides that space to unpack what that history actually means to you on a personal level in terms of your own cultural identity and your own being.